Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a review of Doctor Who Planet of Evil, starring Tom Baker and Elizabeth Sladen as the 4th Doctor and Sarah Jane Smith. I'll go through the packaging. You've got the sort of Doctor Who logo there, BBC, DVD, Planet of Evil, then you've got Tom Baker there in the little bubble. The Tom Baker years 1974 to 81, BBC, and then on the spine you've got practically the same information, 2 out of 10, BBC, Planet of Evil, 4th Doctor bubble, Doctor Who. And on the back you've got the special features and when it was original broadcast, running time, all that gubbins. You've also got the synopsis, which is a bit light, a bit of a light read, and then you've got the strip of screenshots at the top. And then on the inside you've got obviously the DVD and you've got the writer's notes. So yeah, if you're interested in more of the sort of behind the scenes sort of stuff. So yeah, Planet of Evil. What did I think of this story? It was alright. It isn't brilliant. It's an okay sort of 4-part story. I mean, I think the biggest selling point is very much this sort of set design and sort of setting of Xena Minor, being this sort of really effective sort of swamp jungle-esque sort of designed place, and that it is kind of weird to see Tom in his series 12 and or season 12 costume, but without the scarf or the hat. So it does look a bit weird, because he's only got like the red jacket pretty much, and then this giant like cravat sort of thing, and that. I think the first half of this story is a lot more stronger than the second half. Personally, I think whatever's on the like swamp sort of thing is where it shines, and that because the set looks phenomenal, even for the time, and even now is what I meant to say, and I think all the actors are acting as well as possible and are doing as much as possible. I think some of the special effects are actually quite good, like that sort of CCTV surveillance thing that follows the Doctor, and that looks really cool, and almost looked like a drone, like what we would use now almost. So that was pretty cool. The spaceship, both its exterior in so much as when it's in space and then when it lands, and that looked pretty cool, as well as its interior looked pretty decent for what it was, but that was mainly the reason why it has quite a lot of stairs or elevated areas is mainly because to sort of work around the limitations of the studio, and that it's really well directed for the most part by who's the director? David Maloney, and that it's well directed by him for the most part. I think why it sort of fizzles out towards the latter end is just generally, like, I think, as I was saying a minute ago, you only have to really look at the synopsis, and it's like 3 lines of like, so it's not even like a full paragraph, it's just 3 lines, and that just sort of gives you the indication that it is quite a paper-thin story. And that, in so much as, like, they don't even have enough to fill out, for me, personally, a 4-part story. As I say, I think it kind of fizzles out and peters out towards the latter end, and or part 4 in particular. And that, I think the idea of the planet being evil is a really good concept, and the antimatter sort of stuff is really interesting, and it almost reminded me of, like, the 3 Doctors. But the thing is, it's a good concept, it's just not executed as well as it could have been, and that, I don't even think it's so much in fault of the director, musician, and that Douglas Simpson's music's fine in this story, as well as as I said before, the acting from everyone. I think it genuinely is just the script, which was, episode was written by, who was it written by? Louise Marks, and that, I think that, I don't know, like the writer and some of the story beats were just a bit meh. It just feels okay. It feels like your sort of box standard sort of classic Doctor Who story. There's nothing in particular unique about the story, really. I don't think, besides, as I say, that sort of swamp-like setting and that, and that, there's this scientist character who kind of gets possessed towards the latter end of the story as well, and that was alright, interesting. He gives a decent performance as well, so you don't... I know that Philip Hinchcliffe says in the behind-the-scenes sort of stuff that they were trying to work around this sort of idea of like just having the masked monsters, and they worked around it very well, in so much as you've got like this red, for lack of a better term, spaghetti monster almost, for most of the parts, and then you've got this sort of part where this professor scientist guy gets possessed and has this like glowing eye effect, which is really good, really effective, and then yeah, you've got like almost the other captain, or one of the other captain sort of character type people kind of goes a bit AWOL and consistently keeps thinking the Doctor and Sarah are the problem and that, and obviously he's a bit of an idiot. And that, I think, as I say, I think my biggest criticism of this story is that it's just sort of box standard Doctor Who. So yeah, I think overall, I'd give this story a 7 out of 10. It's okay. It's just sort of your average sort of classic Doctor Who episode, and that. So I think honestly, if you were getting into Doctor Who, I think this would be a really good start, because it's not particularly too confusing, and that. But then by the same token, there's nothing too out of the ordinary or exciting for more seasoned or veteran Doctor Who fans, I guess. So yeah, I'd give Planet of Evil a well-earned 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching, comment, rate, and subscribe.